All right, good evening, good evening. Welcome. This is Lois Kofi, Sapphire Consultant with iBuumerang. I'm super excited, pumped up to introduce one of my business partners, friends, and colleagues in success. Super excited for her to do this presentation. So make sure you're in a quiet place, free from distraction, as we go through the next 30 to 40 minutes of this presentation. So Miss Leann Lyon has been part of the health and wellness industry for 25 years and has owned her own manufacturing company and has managed distributors globally all over the world. Mrs. Lyon was trained as a teacher and taught 7th grade math before going into sales. She became a top salesperson really quickly for multiple companies, earning 6-figure incomes for several. Mr. Lyon, her amazing husband, is the chief operations officer at a global company based in the Twin Cities as well. In a previous network marketing company where I had the pleasure of working with Mr. and Mrs. Lyon, they achieved the rank of Sapphire, which is almost the equivalent to our rank in this company. And in iBuumerang, currently she's a senior director before the company officially launched last March. Today, iBuumerang is her full-time career with nearly, actually just about 750 global customers in the organization and TSAs that span actually the globe, not just the US. They're proud to be part of one of the fastest growing organizations in the company within me and my husband's team, as well as Mr. and Mrs. Sam and Kim Bean, our Diamond Ambassadors out of Houston, Texas, who were recently given the rock solid diamonds, basically meaning for the past year, they've hit diamond over and over and over and over again with consistency and with excellence at a very, very high level of volume, which is not easy to do, guys. She speaks Swedish and has traveled to 24 countries and 49 states, many of them with her amazing husband and their 2 now grown daughters, and they're beautiful. I've seen them in action, and they've been an amazing, huge part of our family for these past few years. So they're all also, you don't want to mess with them. They're all 4 black belts in Taekwondo. And of course, they love to travel together globally. Their secret to success is their faith in God and gratitude for their life and relationships. Their passion is to help more families to get out of debt and enjoy this beautiful world we are blessed to experience. So without further ado, let me step out of the way and let Mrs. Leann Lyon take over. Are you ready?
I am here. Can you hear me, Mrs. Kofi?
Absolutely. Take it away.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for that introduction. It's a pleasure to be asked to do this evening. It really is. I can't tell you how much fun this is. And I feel so blessed to be doing this full time. 1 year ago today, life is a little different. And I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. I'm going to switch over here to our slideshow so you can see this. Oops. One moment, technical difficulties here. I'm going to share this gorgeous slideshow from the beginning. Okay, if I could get a nod, I think this is good. Okay, we are here. So I'd like to welcome, first of all, our visitors, our fellow TSAs, and potential business partners for the visitors that are still jumping on here tonight. Please take notes. There will be a lot of information covered here tonight. And at the end, if we have some time, we will take some questions. So as Mrs. Kofi just talked about, you know, this is a brand new company. One year ago today, I'm still not quite sure if I knew about the company, actually. I have the date of March 11th stuck in my head. I know that's the very first day I had a customer in this company. I think my official date in the back office does say February 28th. So it's just been a year. When I look back at where things were a year ago, and trying to get my PowerPoint to agree with me. Go here. A year ago, I was in the midst of launching a brand new website. And in a moment here, we should see that Nope, here it is. Here it is. This was our company. My husband and I had this together. It's called Avivo Peer. And a year ago, we were pouring thousands of dollars into launching our own website. Every minute little detail of what goes into it. Where do we put this? Light side, left side, upside, downside. What font, what colors, all the stuff that we were going through to create this one thing. And meanwhile, we had 1,000 other things to do. We had weekly payroll, we had monthly rent, we had all the supplies to buy for our company. We had, things to stock and things to clean. And really, it was quite overwhelming. There was so much to do, and it was all the time. And we really, we loved what we were doing. We knew we were making a difference, but it was really a challenge at the same time. What we wanted to be doing was this, dream vacations. And here's a photo of us pretty much on a dream vacation. This was with our former company. We were blessed to go on some cruises and some trips. And the more we did that, the more like we want to do more of this. And you think, well, being an entrepreneur is the way to do it, except sometimes you end up being tied into your business so much that you really can't take those trips and do those things. So while we'd been blessed to do some of that, we wanted to be doing more of it. And this picture off to the other side here is my whole family, our daughters on either side of me. This was on another dream trip to Hawaii. It was fabulous. But again, this desire to see the world and do more and experience more, we were oftentimes into, the nitty-gritty of day-to-day building a business and all the heavy responsibility that really came with that. So, fast forward to today, I don't have employees. I do have business partners that want to be here, business partners that want to grow and want to develop their own businesses. And that's fantastic. I can't tell you what a difference there is between having employees and having business partners like we do in iBuumerang. And the freedom not to have all that. It was, it's not so much that it was debt, but it was ever ongoing output of money just to stay afloat and to stay into business. So I'm going to start also with this disclaimer here. This is important. Whatever we talk about in today, and we're going to talk some dollars and income, but this is network marketing. You will not get anything out of this if you don't put some work into this. So there is no guarantee that you will get results. It is really based on what you can put into it and how much you work and who you work with and all the different things. So here's that disclaimer, but it really is time for network marketing to evolve. In the previous company, one of the things I liked about it is that I felt like our product was very fairly priced, but for a lot of network marketing companies, we have a situation of customers paying more and only strong recruiters winning. Well, we feel that what customers really want is a first-class consumer experience, and we've always talked about wanting a perpetual residual income builder. So that's what Mr. Bugs has really created for us here in iBuumerang, and that's what we're so blessed to enjoy. When Mrs. Kofi called me about a year ago and said, "Say, we've got this new thing. We're going to give away something for free that's going to save people money that they don't have to pay for, and we're going to make money." And I just said, no, that does not make sense. But because of my history with her and with Mr. Bean and with Mr. Bugs, I knew that if they said it was going to happen, it was, and it is. A year later, I have no regrets, just none. In fact, in many ways, due to other things that happened with our business, this has been a lifeline for us to be able to step into this when Amazon and Google ended up just crushing our other business in the past year as well. So it's been quite a year, and if you want to hear the whole story sometime, well, grab a glass of wine. So how are we doing this? Right now, we have the ability in this world to do and use data analytics. Everybody's doing it. Amazon's definitely doing it. Facebook is definitely doing it. And we have the ability to do the same. Find out what people want, where they're going, what they want to do, and use that. artificial intelligence to really develop a stronger connection with people even, and help them get what they want. Over the time in Houston recently, where we had a convention, we really met the world-class people power that we truly have in iBuumerang, the doctors, the lawyers, the people that are working really, really hard behind the scenes on our behalf. And I got to say, like I said, a year ago, we were those people. It's such a blessing. I really, for any TSAs here who think, oh yeah, you know, we have to do so much. Wow, you know, they're doing so much of the work for us. We have to go find people to give something free to. They're putting together all of this incredible follow-up system. Our websites are done for us. We have to make no decisions on those things at all. It's such a blessing. We run our business for $99.95 per month. And all we need to do is go find people that we can give this to, or people who want to do this business with us voluntarily. It's a beautiful thing. So the new model for this, as compared to the old model of network marketing, is really to make money only when customers save money. It really took me till Accelerate to figure that out. I'm like, how does this exactly work? Because I didn't understand that this was not possible to pay out based on, you know, the way that we pay in iBuumerang, because people have always paid on bookings, not on savings. That's what makes us exclusive. And I finally got that kind of drilled into my thick skull at Accelerate, that this is what makes us unique. This is why when my customer saves money, I can make money, and Mrs. Kofi and others in our business line can also make money. This has not been possible before. It's really the brainchild of what makes iBuumerang just different, and that's why it's our hashtag, just different. So how are we bringing this to the world? Well, of course, it all starts with travel. Travel is so big. Trillion is such a huge number. I'm old enough that I remember, you know, the first time they talked about billions of dollars of debt and then trillions of dollars of debt in our country. And they were trying to explain how big these numbers are. And basically, you just can't picture how big these numbers are. But $70,000 is a number you can picture. $70,000 would be a pretty nice income for, you know, pretty much anyone, as a base at least. And that much money, you know, an annual income, right? That much money is spent every 1 second in Asia on travel. And so every second, $70,000 is spent on travel. And in addition, in Europe, another $55,000 is spent every second. And in addition, in the United States, every second, $33,000 is spent. So you add this all up, and it's a huge amount of money being spent on travel every single second. And you begin, well, my brain just starts to explode, because that's how big $8 trillion really is. It's such a huge number. And this is from a math teacher, right? So, but did you know, this is kind of a sneaky little secret. Did you know that really only 2 companies are out there with all this? You look and you see all the advertising for Travelocity and Kayak and Agoda and Priceline and Trivago, and you're like, oh wow, there's all. And I know we used to do it. If I didn't so much, my husband thankfully was doing a lot of our booking, but he would spend sometimes a lot of time chasing down, you know, $20 savings. And time is money. So yeah, saving the $20 maybe was worth it if it only took 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But, you know, going back and forth and back and thinking that all of these were different companies inspired, you know, that desire to see if you could get it down a little cheaper somewhere. Turned out you couldn't, because you really only had 2 companies. So when you thought you were going from kayak to Agoda and Agoda to kayak and then over to Priceline, you were all inside Booking Holdings and they knew what you were doing. And so they weren't going to discount it significantly. Maybe they gave you a little bone just to get you, to book something already and not end up going over to Orbitz or Travago or Hotwire. They're their only major competitor. So that parity has been going on for years and years and years, pretty much without anybody knowing about it. And on top of it, where was the customer service? I looked, and on Kayak, if you need customer service on a Saturday, good luck. You can send an email and they'll get back to you on Monday at 8 a.m. when they open up. So there's really been this is what's been going on in the travel industry since pretty much the advent of the internet and the ability to help let people book their own travel. Well, now we're changing that with Extreme Travel. We've partnered with an actual travel agency called Extreme Travel. Mr. Buggs just flat out bought half of the agency so that we're definitely tied and have this connection. And we pass the savings that that travel agency is able to get on to our TSAs. So hello, I can travel more. This is a top award-winning travel agency, truly, truly top of the top. I was blessed at Accelerate to sit and actually talk with Mr. David Manning, the genius who really started this almost 20 years ago. Lori Spears is his right-hand woman, has been with him this whole time. They are called into Congress to testify and to talk about travel. As you can see, they do a lot with cruise ships and airlines, and these are actually old numbers now. They've continued to win more awards in 2019, so I'm sure we'll be updating these slides. But because of their success for all these years, they get fantastic pricing, and all that pricing comes right back to us. And one moment. Nice slide. There we go. So what you get with iGo for Less, or your iGo, is your wholesale travel booking platform. This is what allows me now to be able to book pricing not at a $20 savings after searching for it for 45 minutes, but just flat out find up to a 70% off retail prices. And we've even seen a little bit more than 70% at times. In addition, if I refer travel to Extreme Travel to the agency, I can earn commissions on that. So I met somebody and he's like, yeah, I want to book 50 rooms in Florida. I'm like, hang on to that thought. There's a quick website. I filled it out. I sent him over there and they can handle that from there and see if they could get him the pricing and the situation that he needed. So it's a cool opportunity. Then I can earn a 25% commission on whatever it is that they end up booking with that individual. It works great for destination weddings and packages like that as well. Plus, we get to have our own discounted and exclusive experiences coming up. In fact, we have one coming up in June. Very excited about that. Highly discounted exclusive experiences. This is at a 5-star resort with food and beverages and Mr. Buggs training all involved. Seats are limited, and if they're not sold out, they will be shortly. So if you haven't got yours already, go for that. You can optionally become a travel agent, and that's discussed on the Extreme Travel website. But all this $8 trillion of travel inventory is literally there for us to book our own travel, as well as help our friends and family do the same. So here's some quick examples. New York City. I live New York City for a few days. And $339 would actually be a pretty good price for New York City. I used to spend quite a bit of time there, and I would have jumped at a $339 price. But now, that's what we could find on Expedia. If you look really close, that's what it says. This is on Expedia. And for the same hotel on the same dates, on the iGo platform, we could book this same thing for $178. That's $161 of savings. And like I said, I love New York, but I'm not going to go for a day. I'm probably going to go for a weekend, 2 or 3 nights. And that means almost a $500 savings that I can experience. Oh, wait, that would cover my airfare. Now let's look at Paris, France. This is a comparison with Travelocity. one night at a, looks like a 4-star hotel, $440 a night. Okay, this probably sounds reasonable. But on the I Go for Less website, $130 a night, a $310 savings per night. And may I just recommend, if you're going all the way over to Europe, please stay there for at least a week. You barely get over jet lag before you have to come back. So if you stay for a week and you're saving $300 a night, that's a $2,000 savings that you can spend on maybe some new clothes, your airfare, get some cool shoes, croissants, whatever it is that you want to, or, just save the money. How's that for an idea? With a car rental, I'm going to share a personal story. I'm in a smaller town, and Hertz is there. So she's like, oh, I get all the best deals with Hertz, and I actually get free days with Hertz, and Hertz loves me, and I got all these points with Hertz. And so she just didn't really want to look at the iGo website, but finally she did, and we could save her money. So the first time she booked on the iGo website, we saved her $100 off of her very lowest price that Hertz was offering her. A few weeks later, again, $144 savings. And just this week, I got another email saying, hey, we're going to travel again, and saved another $130 on the iGo website. So all told, she has saved literally, what am I up to, like almost $400 of savings that she's now been able to enjoy on her trips instead of spending on the car. Punta Cana is a 4-star resort. I love that we have resorts available. $500 savings here on the iGo website as compared to hotels.com. There's so many other benefits. And so one thing I really talk to my customers about is the fact that they can use some of these things at home. Occasionally we need to rent a car at home. Okay, that's fine. But more fun, how about finding a cool activity to go do at home? Say you have friends and family coming into town. Our activities are worldwide, including your own hometown, at least, or the nearest city. There's usually activities going on. In one city, I did find they had a really cool opportunity to get a 4 package for a movie theater. And it was a really good deal. You got the ticket and some soda and some pop, all for a lower price. That was in another city. I'm still waiting for it to show up in Minneapolis. Haven't seen it yet. But that's an example of an activity or just discounts. If they're in our system, they're offering some sort of a special deal to be there. So it's a lower price that they can't find if they go to the regular websites. Restaurants too. Really phenomenal ways to save money for, say, a family of 4, a family of 5. It's really difficult to go out to dinner because it's so expensive, and our customers can save money, and our TSAs can save money on restaurants at home, not just while they're traveling. Of course, they can save it while they're traveling as well. In addition, there's wine club, there's gift cards, there's worldwide tours that are fantastic, emergency travel services. Our TSAs at first class can play golf around the world at discounts. There's shopping rewards, theme parks, shore excursions, and much more. Plus, we have 110% price guarantee that we will refund 110% of the difference if you are able to find the same thing at the same price on the same, or for a lower price on a same day someplace else. So really put our money where our mouth is. Here's some more examples of, like we said, actually more than 70% discounts in the first couple cases. 5-star hotels for multiple nights, $309 a night. 4.5-star hotel here, $119 a night in Miami Beach. That's hard to beat. $119 a night. That's like a Holiday Inn price for a really, really beautiful on the beach hotel, and it's right there. Ritz-Carlton, Fort Lauderdale, really? 5-star hotel, $382 a night. Look at the savings here, $982 of savings on the Ritz-Carlton. Savings in this beautiful Miami Beach hotel, over $1,300 of savings. And going back to the beginning one, this is real. This hotel, the public price was $6,611. Savings for a TSA, $5,000 less. Total price, just over $1,500. That's an incredible, incredible deal. I think you have to agree with me on that. So same industry, new technology. This is our latest and greatest baby. So one of my passions with iBuumerang is the fact that we feed a nutritional supplement to children with every single new customer and TSA that joins us. And now we're going to up that game. Vibe is a ride share that is now in Florida and Texas and soon to be other places. Vibe is like, we can say, Uber or Lyft, but with a difference. And one of the differences, many differences, but one of the differences is what we're calling girl power. So I have actually driven for rideshare, and I already mentioned I'm a black belt, right? So people have asked me, aren't you afraid? Aren't you scared? And we hear all these stories on the news. And I personally am not, because I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to do and how I'm going to take care of things. But you can't always know that. And you know what? Not everybody's me. So there's a lot of women out there who would never, ever be a rideshare driver because they don't want to be the driver in a car with a bunch of guys that have just been drinking a whole lot because they feel unsafe. And you know what? That's a really smart, reasonable fear. So what if those women basically don't have the opportunity to be part of the gig economy and make money in rideshare because of this fear? But what if we could help with that by guaranteeing they could pick up only other women in their car? For many women, this would alleviate the fear and allow them to get into the gig economy. This is big. This is a freedom that we can extend to other women that I think could make a very, very big impact on their businesses and help their families get out of debt and have more freedom. Likewise, some women don't use rideshare because they don't want to be in the position of being in a car, maybe after having a couple of drinks with a guy that they don't know. So, and again, going back to what we hear in the news and in all the things, even the current ride shares do have safety features. You should know about them, that you can track your ride, that somebody can be following you, and ways to reach help if you need it. But we're just going to make sure that those safety features are in place, and women passengers can choose to find and wait for a woman driver to come pick them up. So it's very, very big, but it's just part of this gig economy, which is so, so huge. So right now, Vibe Ride is our new next thing. We started with iGo websites. They're free. We're giving them out for free. It's kind of like a loss leader. You give something for free to somebody that they value, and they'll keep it. This is what businesses do all the time with something that they might hand out for free that actually has some value. So I use credit card holders on the back of my iPhone. I think it's an easy way to keep stuff, but there's branding on that as well. And I used to have branding for my company on these that I would hand out for free. They weren't free for me, but the customers they were free for, and they would use them and keep them. Well, that's the same thing with iGo. So now that they're using and keeping our iGo for Less website, this goes into the Power of the Prib, and now they have access to Vibe Ride, which at Accelerate we found out that iBuumerang is the exclusive marketing partner for Vibe Ride. So basically, we are the marketing branch for Vibe Ride exclusively. And we're super excited about that. So the Boom Foundation, this goes, again, Vibe Ride, iBuumerang, we're feeding kids and we're helping kids get stronger and live better lives. Malnutrition in the world affects 815 million people. 5 million children die every year. Every 6 seconds a child dies because their immune system was compromised due to malnutrition, or just malnutrition itself, starvation, if you can imagine it. Our company is making an impact. Last year alone, since we've launched, I think we're up over or close to or over 7 million servings of a whole food nutritional supplement that these kids can have, and it's making a difference. And as we grow, I know they said, okay, this year we're going to shoot for 15 million. But in our first month of January alone, we did 2.2 million servings of this incredible product. You know, I do the math. Oh, wait, math teacher. That comes out closer to, you know, a $25 million or a million serving goal for the year. And wow, that can change a lot of lives for a lot of people. So far, as it said, we've 15. I think we can do more. I love this photo here. This gentleman right here, Kirsch, Karen and Peter Kirsch are the principals of the Boom Foundation. Here they are playing with these very, very happy children, and I love, love, love that they're being fed. These free meals are being given to hungry children. So, and here we go. Here's Peter Kirsch right here. He is the person who introduced Mr. Bugs and Mr. No. Oh, here, Mr. David Manning. The photo is out of order. Mr. David Manning is the owner of Extreme Travel. I mentioned him earlier, along with Lori Spears right here. Mr. Peter Hirsch introduced Mr. Manning to Mr. Bugs. I thought I heard a rumor that it was in a taxi, and the result is where we are today. Right here, Mr. T. Gray, Mr. Mark Kithcart, they are our phenomenal VP of everything and VP of marketing. We get to enjoy them as they share nuggets and keep us updated every week. Now it's like twice a week with new information. And of course, our global master ambassador, Mr. Haynes. So this is our leadership team, our top leadership team. There's so many other people now involved and supporting us. I'm just so grateful for the work that all of these people do. On Sunday in Houston, in fact, Mr. Haynes and his wife surprised, I believe, Mr. Bugs and Mrs. Erlene Bugs with the mayor of Houston, the fourth largest city in America, showing up to announce that it was their personal private day for the city of Houston. They named that date her name first, Erlene and Holton Bugs Day for Houston. That's a pretty big deal. He actually left a thing, the mayor left something in Miami or Florida anyway to come over to give this award. And you can see the whole doctrine and decree in his hand, which is just neat. And here they're doing the ribbon cutting for Vibride. This company knows how to do things well. We're not on a shoestring budget. And I love that because I'm running my whole company, this beautiful, beautiful, vibrant company on my only $99.95 a month. So furthermore, and this was mentioned in my introduction as well, our guidance of our diamond, Mr. and Mrs. Samuel Bean, Foresight family is what they call our team. We're so blessed to be with them. 23 years in the industry, $5 million created in the last 10 years, most rock solid diamond award. While we were in Houston just a couple of weeks ago, they became diamonds in 2 weeks and made almost so close to $50,000 in their first month. So truly great leadership. And this was our group, most of our group that was down in Houston, Texas. Lots and lots of people. 2019 accomplishments, just so much. Millions of dollars in travel bookings, millions, 1.2 million in travel savings in 186 countries, over 500,000 users, and that's last year. What is 2020 going to be, and where are you going to be a part of that? The bookings, everything is an open book. You can see the bookings, the total, the retail, all of this is available to those that really want to dig in and get really crazy with the numbers. But all I know is that as we move forward, things just keep popping. And we can see that the savings continue to increase over time as well. And we expect that to continue to go that direction. So do you Buumerang? Of course, we will all be using and enjoying iBuumerang. Many people can't imagine now not having things like Uber and Lyft in our lives, but it did take a little while for them to get rolling. So iBuumerang, we know, is the next. You know, we weren't there when Starbucks launched. We weren't there when Amazon launched. And quite frankly, a lot of those businesses started on shoestring budgets. We're not. We're not on a shoestring budget. We're starting big, and we're going big fast. So this is a very unique industry, but it's based on industries before us that have been very successful through social media, social sharing, and also the concept of taking what's already out there, which is what Amazon did, and making it available in one central location, which is exactly what we're doing. So on top of this, as a TSA, you get to share 50% of your savings with your friends and family. That's what I've done almost 750 times now. Customers enjoy 50% of the available savings, where I get to enjoy all of it or most of it. 50% of that also then goes into the compensation plan, which pays me, as well as the other people in my business line. This is an exclusive thing, as we've talked about earlier. And here's an example. TSA member sites can save, in this example, save 70%. So TSA, Travel Savings Ambassador, is the person who gets to save pretty much all of the savings. So in this example, this public price for this all-inclusive 4.5-star resort was $4,867. My price as a TSA for that would have been $3,939 less. That's my savings, paying only about $1,467 for the entire experience. Amazing. But if I had shared this, say, with a friend or family member who had not become a TSA, they would get a Buumerang customer site, and their savings would be half of what my savings would be. So same resort, same awesomeness, same public price. Would pay a little bit more, but do you think they're happy with a $1,700 savings from what they would have to pay if they went through the other websites? Of course they would be. They're thrilled. What's not to love about saving that? And if they don't love it, they can come in and join the business with us and get the more exclusive savings. That works too. So the customer saves $1,700, then the TSA that enrolled them actually makes half of that money, $849.75, plus business volume is created. And this goes into the whole compensation plan. Customer acquisition model. This is how one way to build this business is simply to find customers. You find 10 customers that take one trip a year, which is pretty average. They save $600 on average, where total savings with all 10 times 600 is $6,000. You get half of what they save. They save $6,000, you make $3,000. Not a bad thing, not a bad thing at all. If you needed to create that this coming year, how exactly would you do that? This is so simple when you can just share this with people, let them do what they're gonna do anyway, which is travel, but now you're helping them save money on it and you make an income. It's beautiful. A more moderate example is, what if you can get up to 100 customers? And by the way, moderate, this is like a standard now. Lots and lots and lots of people are celebrated at hitting 100, what we call boom customers. In fact, tonight I saw another 5 or 6 people announced as hitting this mile marker. Well, now the numbers just changed. 100 times 600 is 60,000. And that translates to up to a $30,000 income for you, the person who found those 100 customers. Keep in mind, I have 750, so if you want to do the math on that, well, you're closer here. 1,000 customers, total savings, and the travel savings bonus. So I'm looking closer and closer towards this type of residual income, because if it worked one year and they saved money, what are they going to do the following year? They're going to do the same thing, just like Uber. Wow, that worked so well. They showed up at my door. I pushed a button. I got in a car. I got there. It was paid for. I'm going to do it again and again and again. And I saved money compared to a taxi, and I didn't have to flag down a taxi. Oh, in the suburbs, by the way. So we're always looking at how we can make this better. Team builder model. is how you leverage other people helping you to do this. So you have a team of 50 other TSAs. TSAs get their customers, customers save money, your TSAs make half of that. You get an override of about 10%. So the numbers are in here. We'd love to go into more depth with this. We have another great presentation as well. But team builder model is very, very efficient and the faster way to build this business and to build the income. The incomes that we hear people talking about come fast and heavy with the team builder model, not the customer building model, just so you know. And all the way up to the aggressive model on the team builder with a team of 1,000 TSAs, each having 10 customers only, would you bring you to 10,000 customers, and the money just keeps rolling. Again, all the details on commission, we are an open book. We have a website you can go to called iBoom Hub. You can download and see videos. It's great, and I'd encourage you to do that. But meanwhile, we do have a new compensation plan that we just rolled out. We're very excited. In March, we have the opportunity now to earn our way to being paid 7 levels down by simply enrolling 2 TSAs into our own business during the month of March. And this is an incredible opportunity to make some very fast money. So if you haven't heard about this, please get with your upline or the person who invited you to this presentation and find out more. This is called the Fast Start Accelerator Bonus. It takes 2. The company is all in. It says February only. They extended it. It's now March. And all of our diamonds, including Mr. and Mrs. Sam Bean and others, are jumping on and doing presentations on our behalf. Presentations like what I'm doing, but they're diamonds. And so we can leverage that and send people to their presentations and watch them online and use that to help us get to and get paid to 7 levels. So how do you get involved with all this awesomeness? Well, you can start with standby. Everybody actually starts with standby. Standby is basically our technology package. You got to have a technology package. You have to have a website, right? Website, you have to test out, how does this work? You can earn referral commissions. Like I said, if somebody wants a book of larger package, you can earn referral commissions through Extreme Travel. You get all the technology, a really cool iDecide interactive presentation, your management system online. Everybody gets that for $49.95. And then it's up to you if you go into a coach class, business class, or first class. And with each, there's pros and cons, but mostly pros. The further you get up towards first class, what you see at the bottom here, these are one-time investments. So Lifetime Fitness is a pretty well-known fitness club. In fact, the very first Lifetime Fitness happens to be about 5 miles from my house. And it was fine. It was their first, though, and it wasn't the luxury, divine Lifetime Fitnesses that are now popping up around the world. And for a long time, it meant that we didn't have access to those clubs, even though we belonged to the first club. We had paid a membership fee, but we were limited as to which other clubs we could go to because we hadn't paid the upgraded membership fee. So it's all in what you put into things sometimes. So coach class means that you can get in, and you do get the 70% savings, which is what a lot of people want, for $250 in addition to the technology package I just mentioned. However, you're only going to have access to the hotels, the flights, and the rental cars. You also don't get your full commission. So the earlier examples of getting half the commission, you get half of the half, or 25% of the commission, truly. So I really, unless there's really a great need, we don't often start people at coach. Most people who are a little more serious at least start at business, and truly most people start at first class. Some people start at business and upgrade shortly. At least with business class, you now have access to hotels, flights, rental cars, and our incredible cruises. Some great deals there. You do start with 25 boomerangs and your full commission, and that's a big deal. Having the full commission makes up vastly for the difference in the starter package price of $250 or $500. Then for those that really want to go all out and have access to everything, first class is where you have access to business class, to Airbnb style homes, to luxury weeks at incredible prices, being able to bid on things through our marketplace, our lifestyle, our timeshare, golf packages, all sorts of things. You actually start with the ability to give out 50 boomerangs to your closest friends and family, which really gets your whole business started much more quickly and for just a $500 difference. If you do start business class, you have up to 60 days to just pay the difference to get up to first class. So we welcome you at any level with the understanding you can move up. This dual team, again, is kind of like choosing how much do you want to get paid. If for the same amount of work, which it is the same amount of work, whether you're giving out, anytime you're giving out boomerangs, it's the same amount of work. Do you want to get paid 10% on it, 12% on it, or 15%, or $10, $12, or $15? So you could look at it that way as well. So obviously first class, you're going to more than make up long-term what you're doing. All of these do include in America a $99.95 monthly subscription fee. So that's what I've referred to a couple of times. That's what it takes now for me to run my business. Of course, I did start right at first class. And since that time, my entire investment per month is simply the $99.95 for all this greatness, including incredible worldwide customer service. So the payout is real. This has happened in Australia not long ago. This is a copy of a text message chat. Hey bro, just logged into my back office and I've been paid $1,600 and I don't even know how. And so this conversation happened. I mean, he didn't even know that one of his customers had booked something with over $3,000 of savings. He just got paid over $1,600 in his back office, and that more than covers his whole business for more than a year. And so he can continue to run his business or take the money out and go on his own vacation, whatever he chooses to do. The payout is real. So by enrolling with iBuumerang, you have access to both travel and ride share with Vibe Rides. Earn while you drive, earn while others drive, and earn when customers ride. We are hiring. We are looking for drivers in Florida, in Texas, and even technically in other markets, although it does take a considerable number of drivers ready to go. So here's some more information on this. Definitely the rideshare opportunity. We are going to feed one more nutritional supplement to every child for children for every ride taken through Vibe Ride. This is so big, people. We can really, really change the world with Vibe Ride in so many ways, including the ones I've already talked about. The Vibe Overdrive Ambassador Package is like the other one. $49.95 is your business registration, and then you buy an overdrive pack. So the total there is $250 essentially. You'll see here we say invest $300 because for $50 more, you can have the coach package and be able to do both iBuumerang and Vibe Ride together. So it's a huge opportunity for only a $50 upgrade to coach class. And this would be the one time I would say do coach instead of overdrive. And then if you can, go into business, of course, as well. But the showing here is amazing. An average $15 ride. If you have a lot of drivers, they're saying 5 rides per day, 5 days per week. That's a very doable number of drives for drivers. And they're looking at some incomes that are, pretty, well, 6-figure incomes. Nobody's going to argue with that. I'm looking for the number of drivers here. 3 drivers, 10 riders, and the number of rides and drives that they would all take. So it ends up being a 6-figure income without you sitting behind a wheel at all. Own your own rideshare. It's a pretty sweet opportunity. Investing into your future. 98 million people do ride with rideshare right now. We only have 5.3 million drivers at this time, so they're busy. And it's $1 billion market, of $24 billion market today, looking at $103 billion market in the next 5 years. So what is your vision for 2020 or for 2025? Is this your Amazon moment? Coming up, we have Vision 2020 in August. We're very excited about that. Before that, I mentioned our exclusive leadership experience, 5-star resort welcome party, and everything happening in June. We want you to be there. Please join us. If you're a visitor here tonight, I encourage you to get back with the person who invited you to this presentation. Thank you so much for being here and listening tonight. I appreciate you very much. We have weekly events going on like this every Wednesday night. Please come back. Please bring guests and build your business the iBuumerang way. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Great
Leann.
job, Leann. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.